Hello, my name is Jane Caddick, and today, as part of my Level 3 Forest School Leader Portfolio Unit 2, I'm going to show you how to make a peg. For that, I'm going to be needing my knife, a glove for my helping hand, a mallet, unless you don't have one, and then you'll need a piece of wood that you can use to knock the knife with, and a piece of wood about the length that you're going to need to create your peg. Now I've already cut this one off, however it's still too wide, so I need to cut this in half and get it to the diameter that I need. To do that, I'm going to cleave it in half. So remove the cover, place the knife across the halfway point of my wood, and then I'm going to knock it in the centre till it embeds in the wood, and then I go to the end and I tap until it breaks in half. So I've now got two pieces of wood, but even so they're still too big for a peg, so I'm now going to cut that one more time, exactly the same way, by cleaving it. So place it halfway across, make sure it's balanced nicely, tap, okay, so now got the size that I need. So now I need to shape it. To do that, I'm going to need my knife, and I'm going to need a surface on which to place myself so that I can keep myself safe as well. So I'm going to sit on a log. Oh, there we go. Now, when you're using a knife to whittle, it's important you don't have a knife, you don't have a glove, by the way, on your hand that's holding your knife, because that would make it, it wouldn't be as safe, you won't get the grip. But I will be using a glove on my helping hand. So when you're whittling, you always whittle away from your body. To create a peg, I want to get a nice point in one end, and then I want to create a stopper at the other end, which will stop the guy line from popping off when it's attached. So I'm going to start a little way up. I'm going to cut the corner. I'm going to whittle the corners off of each of those three corners of my wood. Ground. You just keep whittling away, moving around the peg, taking off each of the corners as you come to them. Try and get a bit more off the end of the peg rather than at the top here. And every now and again I quite like to check that I don't have anyone in my blood bubble. There's a dog there I can see. She's okay. Oh, good girl. Well done. Another way of whittling is to actually place the thing that you're whittling onto the surface, and then you can push down and get a little bit more force behind the action. It's important when you are, good girl, okay. It's important that when you're trying to do a job like this, that your tools are really sharp, because a blunt tool is far more dangerous than a sharp one. So I'm sort of getting the impression my knife could do with a little bit of a sharpen, so that will be my next job to do. nearly there. Checking. Once I think I've got it sharp enough that it will go into the ground easily, once it's knocked in, then I know that I'm ready to then put the stopper in. So there is the point. Now I need to create a stopper. To do that, I'm just going to go back over there before I do that. So, to create a stopper, I'm going to measure in about 2 fingers depth from the top of my peg. I'm going to place my knife at that point on that edge. You can see it's almost like a triangle. And I'm just going to use my mallet again to just gently tap that until it's about a third of the way in. I can remove that. And then all I need to do is on that edge there, I'm just going to cut in and take off little pieces, curving in, and you can see there that that has already stayed on, so that's fine. I can just use my knife and cut that off, but that now tells me that is probably as far as I need to go. So now I've got my stopper, and the final thing I need to do, as we're cleaving, as you saw, when you're cleaving wood, you're going with the grain of the wood, and if you put enough force on it, it splits the wood. So if I was to now bang that into the ground with a great deal of force, my peg would split. So to stop that from happening, I'm going to just take a little notch off of the top edge of the knife, and I'm going to do that all the way round. So it's now got an angle, and then that will stop it from splitting or cracking if you're using a mallet on it. Nearly done. There, that's it. Job done. I now have a peg ready to use.